The GAC GS8 is proving to be a very popular SUV here in the Philippines. Now they've got a new version, and this one comes with four-wheel drive. Does it feel any different? Let's find out. Hey everyone, Vince here from AutoIndustriya, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. What I have for you now is the GAC GS8, but in the range-topping four-wheel drive trim. Now, when GAC Philippines launched this generation of GS8, when they previewed it at the Manila International Auto Show, a lot of people were really gravitating towards it. And why wouldn't you be? Because it's got the Explorer size with a Cadillac Escalade kind of edgy look. Very, very cool, how you say, or very, very street, very almost American in many ways, even though GAC is from Guangzhou over in China. But in terms of the look, it really is impressive. But compared to the 4x2 model we drove a couple of months ago, there really are no exterior differences with the vehicle. Still got the same wheels, you still got the same body. There's no changes in trim on the outside. I still got the chrome here, which, by the way, the chrome on the GS8 does seem to blend in very well, gives it a nice accent. It also has the power sunroof up top. But why it's really proving to be popular is because this is a 7-seater. 2 can sit in the front, 3 can sit here in the middle, and another 2 here in the very back. But why it's also being very popular here is because not just of the actual seating capacity, but the low floor. Meaning your lolo or lola or angkong and ama can get inside very, very easily. Or if you can even use it for executive transport, it can fill that role very well. When you view the GS8 from the back, you can tell that the lower portion of the vehicle is a bit wider than the top part. Even with the previous generation, that was actually pretty true. But still, it does look good the way they did the taillights. Very, very nice. When these light up at night, it has a very unique, kind of almost H-ish pattern when you view it from the back. Pretty cool. Now, it is a bit chunky. One thing I want to point out though is that the thing in the middle, that's the hitch point or the mounting point, that is not included with the vehicle. That's an accessory where you can mount a bike rack, all that. But it does affect, if you're going off-road, it does affect the departure angle of the vehicle, so keep that in mind. Now, the tailpipes here, or the chrome finishers, these are fully functional. You can see actual tailpipes there, which is nice and cool. Spoiler over here, all that stuff. There are cameras all around the vehicle, so when you look like here, there's a camera, up somewhere else, there's a camera. There's a lot in this vehicle, and later when we mess around with the interior, we'll show you. So to open the trunk, it is a power lift gate, which is cool. You can use your remote or press the button under there. The space here is about only 13.5 inches. Yes, now you're open, like I can tell. It's about 13.5 inches, which isn't much. The width is about 43. But when you start folding down the rear seats, you can very easily, one touch. When you pull that down, goes up to around also 43, which is pretty good. There's also space underneath here for tools and such. And I think that's a subwoofer right there. I have to double check that. But when you fold this down, it's very easy also, one touch, same for the other side. The maximum length for cargo goes up to around 82 inches, which is pretty good for a vehicle of this size. So you can really load it up for, your long road trips, all well and good. Anyways, let's check out what's under the hood. Come on, come on, come on. Good job. Barn, ang ginagawa mo?
Sir, pinupunasan ko lang para malinis.
Pero mortal sin ang ginagawa mo. Never ka magpapahid ng kotse nang may alahas ka, may relo ka at may singsing kahit ano. Barney naman, masubsob ka dyan, masaktan ka. Baka magasgas mo pa yung glass. If for whatever reason your windshield gets smashed, gets dinged, or gets scratched by one of your now former employees, well, don't worry because our friends over at Aguila Auto Glass have glass for the GAC GS8. How cool is that? Aguila Auto Glass has been in the auto glass business for over 70 years, and they're very much known for treating customers just like family. They have 26 branches all around Luzon, and they're very much ready to serve you. They're a premium partner of AutoIndustriya.com, and they help me keep my reviews very honest and very independent. Sana ba yan si Barney? So to pop open the hood, you pull the lever down there twice. And once you do, it releases the hood, which by the way, is gas assisted. I love it when car makers do this kind of thing. Now, powering the vehicle is a 2-liter gasoline turbo engine that GAC calls Mega Wave Power. It makes 248 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. Now, if you notice, the engine is set a bit low relative to the actual height over here. That's something deliberate because it's not that big of an engine. But what's really significant and the big change from the other one we drove is that when you look over there in the back, next to the exhaust manifold, you'll find a shaft that goes all the way to the back because this is an all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive system that gives you the extra capability on slippery roads. So what else can we discuss here? Well, not so much. It's pretty much a standard crossover type of engine bay. So now, let's talk about the interior because there are quite a few nice things inside with the GS8. Let's close this up and nice. As with the front-wheel drive model, the interior of the 4-wheel drive is just impressive. Now, the big change really with the interior is the color combination they went for. In the previous one, they went with, I think it was black, predominantly dark interior. This one is a lot lighter. You look at all the panels and stuff, and really they changed it up with the color for the seats, the upholstery, all that stuff. It's a bit more cream gray, light gray kind of thing going on. In the third row, same thing. It's pretty spacious back. Actually, it's pretty good third row. You do get 4 cup holders in the very, very back, which is unusual because only 2 people can sit there. So if you have, 2 drinks each, you're perfectly fine there. In the middle row, you've got loads of leg room. And it's the same thing, you've got this quilted, nice plush seat going on in the back. And you've got a center armrest, a flat floor, which is surprising for an SUV, especially one that is 4-wheel drive. And you got 2 USB ports there, and you've got your own climate control unit because this one does have a 3-zone climate control system with a separate evaporator condenser for the rear, because you can see that by the amount of water dripping from the front AC as well as from the back. Now onto the front. GAC does have a very nice dashboard aesthetic going on with the GS8. I mean, you can see the way they did the dashboard is very clean. You do get a digital screen here in front with your fuel gauge on the right, your temperature gauge on the left, and the little screen here, it's a bit rectangular. You can make out the edges of the screen. On the steering wheel, it's perfectly round. It's got the gray, a bit of a darker gray compared to the rest, but still looks very good. You got your adaptive cruise control on the left side, with basically you can use it on the highway. It's very, very useful. And then you can change the view also from the front, so you can see what's going on with the vehicle, right? But still, on the right side, you've got your audio controls, and you've got your telephone, voice command, all that stuff, and a very nice horn in this vehicle. Apart from the 4-wheel drive system, there are only really 2 differences, and of course the interior color. One is right here in the armrest. You've got this vent here for to act as a cooler, so you can keep drinks cool for long drives. It's not very strong. Maybe if I bump up the speed of the AC, it should be better. The other one is the speakers, because if you look on the doors, you'll see Alpine markings where the speaker grills are. You've got ambient lighting going all around. You can see that right here, and you can actually adjust that depending on what you want to do. Here in the middle, again, center console. It's a 2-tier design, so you've got the lower console, which has all your charging ports. You can run the cable up through here, I think. You can run it down there, which is actually a very nifty feature. But right now, my phone is on. I don't have the mirroring activated. By the way, it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, nor does it have Android Auto. But you can mirror your phone there using a cable. But right now, I'm just using the Bluetooth feature and the wireless charger. And then you have the different apps in the vehicle, so the navigation, music, radio, Bluetooth call, the My Car in 3D, which allows you to control different functions of the vehicle, well, particularly with the windows, for example. And here's the light effect. But still, if I want to open the sunroof from here, I can. So like there, one touch over there. Whoop, one more time. There you go. Open the breath. Breathe. So it allows it to just open like that, and then press and hold that to open that all the way. I can open the left window from here as well. One touch open. Right there. You can do all the side windows if you want. You can close all the side windows if you want. You can control it all here. Again, you can also do it from here, but this is really just one of those things that, yeah, may come in handy. But everything does have backup switches, like actual, like right here, right there, for that stuff. And you can control the mirrors from here if you really want to. The lighting, this is where you control the lighting. So you can choose the color. Let me see if I can get it as bright as possible. You can choose, see, right now it goes a little bit green. And you want it to go red. You can. It's a bit darker. It's much brighter when you're in the daytime, and at night it'll all pop out over there. Now, when you go through some of the features here, it's actually, this is where the four-wheel drive system comes into play. So there is no way for you to control what mode you're in, whether if you want all-wheel drive, if you want two-wheel drive only. There's no way to do that because there is no manual mode to control. So all you really have is pretty much the real-time four-wheel drive system. There's no locking differentials, none of that sort. All you can do is tweak the vehicle depending on the terrain. But snow mode, we're not going to use that here. And then you go to sand mode. That one, it optimizes the traction control system to be able to, kind of manage that. It prevents you from getting stuck. The mud mode, that does not look like mud to me, but okay. But still, it comes in handy for that kind of situation. Unfortunately, we are not in a place right now where we can test the mud mode. Maybe in the future we will, but we have tried this on some of the other places in Tanay. Seems to work okay, not in the muddy yet, but still, we won't really be going, full-on off-road with this vehicle just yet. Hopefully we do in the near future. Anyway, so that's about it for the interior and the features of the GS8 four-wheel drive. Let's take it out back onto EDSA and see how this one behaves over there. I don't expect much difference from the other one though. So, back inside the GAC GS8. And what's not to like about the car? Looks good both inside and out. It's comfortable. Like right now, we are over the bumpy part of EDSA where we normally drive, like over some of the undulations here, the patches of asphalt that they did over the holiday break. I mean, you can see, like it's managing it very, very well. And like right now here, we're just driving here on, yeah, it's actually quite all right. I mean, it's not gonna be like, like Nissan Patrol level like that, but it's getting right up there. That's what you want in a vehicle like this, and it's no surprise why the vehicle is so popular. Like over the holidays, I was over in Baguio. I think I saw at least maybe 4 of these up there going around, different colors. So definitely not. I was driving something else, but yeah, saw quite a few GS8s. Not sure if those were all-wheel drive, though. Chances are many of those were the front-wheel drive. So yes, for those of you doubting, like the engine of this size, a 2-liter turbo, it can make it up to Baguio, no problem. And I imagine they had a full load of families in the car. The only important difference between this one and the previous one is that the all-wheel drive system is it's not what I was expecting. Let's get those misconceptions out the way that this is like the 4x4 you would find in a Nissan Patrol or a Land Cruiser or some of the pickups and PPVs in the market. This is a bit different. This is more like a crossover full-time 4x4, similar, or four-wheel drive, similar to the one in the CRV, that kind of thing. It's a front bias system, I think. But it's really more meant for like adventures on like light, slippery, like light trails or slippery roads. I wouldn't take this out for something like like you would go into the jungle, into like General Nakar, that kind of place, where a lot of my friends go on the weekend. And this is not meant for that kind of more hardcore type of off-roading. If that's your kind of thing, you're best off looking for like a different kind of vehicle. But if you're taking it car camping or going out to, let's say, a campsite, to the nearest river, so on and so forth, this will work well for you. The disadvantage of an all-wheel drive system, particularly for city driving or even just regular highway driving, is that there is a penalty when it comes to weight. Because while they're not listing the weight of the vehicle, they do, I think, list like 1920 kilograms for the GS8. I think, I'm not sure if that's a G. I'll look at it again. But it's the same weight for both vehicles, for both variants. And I find that hard to believe because, as you know, putting an all-wheel drive system, having extra axles in the back, so on and so forth, it does all add weight. So that's something I would doubt. But also with the fuel economy, it dropped a little bit. In the front-wheel drive version, we're getting around 8.3, 8.5 thereabouts. This one is around 7.7, 7.6, depending on how hard you're on the throttle or how bad the traffic situation is. So there is a penalty in that sense with the extra weight. And also, you're also driving, 2 more wheels. Well, depending on how the differential is. There's no way to lock the differential here. That's one thing I also spotted. I would have wanted that feature to be able to do that, because when you're doing, let's say, when you get off into a sand dune area and somehow you get stuck, now you just have to depend on the electronics to be able to allocate the torque to the correct wheel that can actually use it. With a lock differential, it gives you the ability to really get both moving instead of having an open differential. If you want to learn more about that, read up on open differentials, that kind of thing, and locking differentials, what it's supposed to do. The important question you should really be asking is whether the GAC GS8 4-wheel drive fits your needs. Now, personally, I don't envision myself taking this out for something like an off-road excursion or anything like that, because a lot of the things that I would look for in a 4x4 are missing from the vehicle. Diff lock, for example. That is something I consider vital. But if you're someone that loves the style of the GS8 but want a little bit more capability with some soft roading ability depending on the kind of terrain that you're going to tackle, this might be a good fit for you. Now, it comes down to the price. So when GAC first launched the GS8 4-wheel drive a couple of months ago, it was around 2.5 million or just 2.55 thereabouts. Now it's 2.65, closer to that mark. So it's significantly more expensive than the last one. Even the GS8 4x2, it also went up in price since I reviewed it. When I reviewed it, it was just under 2.3 million. Now it's almost 2.4. So their prices are really coming up. But what's great about GAC, and particularly with the GS8, you actually have the ability to request for a few options. Being that the vehicle is manufactured over in Guangzhou, they can take a few orders with options for the interior, if you like, with color combinations that you want. You just have to be willing to wait. Anyways, this is Vince of AutoIndustriya. Did you like the GS8? Let us know in the comments below. Now, where can we go for a road trip today?